Okay. So, hi Angela, and my first question to you is which class are you currently TAing?
Oh, I'm currently TAing for CS 6601, Artificial Intelligence. Um, the instructor is Stefano Fini.
Okay, awesome. How often do you use Piazza as a TA?
Um, this semester, probably about once a day for half an hour to an hour.
Okay, and would that be the desktop application or the?
Yes, I
Okay,
can't use the mobile version. I find it totally unusable.
okay. And what are the most common tasks that you use it for?
um, my main goal when I'm looking at well, I guess there are two things. One is I post announcements on Piazza. All of our announcements get cross posted to both Piazza and T Square.
Hmm.
Um, but the task that I think I do more often is just looking at Piazza and trying to figure out, trying to make sure that all the student posts have been answered and
Hmm.
see if there are any that haven't gotten responses yet, particularly any that have been there for more than, say, the better part of a day and haven't gotten responses yet.
Okay. Um, what do you think are the most useful features in Piazza?
Most useful features of Piazza. Let's see. It's useful uh, that you can jump to the unread posts in the thread. Although it is sort of buggy, especially if you leave a thread open for a long time, you'll discover that the contents update, but that indicator of unread posts doesn't. But that's really useful because it allows me to read a thread and then come back to it and read all the stuff that I didn't read the first time and so on. Other things that are useful. A lot of Piazza features leave me sort of saying this would be really this is a really good idea,
Hmm.
um, but they're not actually useful in their current form. Like the idea of being able to say whether something is resolved or not.
Okay.
The idea is really useful, but in practice, it isn't. It doesn't work out so well.
Why not?
Well, the thing with the thing with marking things as resolved. So there are two ways that things get marked as resolved in Piazza. One is if someone makes a post as a question, um, then a student may put something in the student answer and it gets marked as having been answered, which is fine if the student answer is actually a good answer. Um, but sometimes, say, someone will post something saying, I'm seeing this error come back from Bonnie. Does anyone know how to troubleshoot my submission? And someone will post a student answer that's like, me too.
Hmm.
So then, but it doesn't, obviously that doesn't help, but it still marks it as sort of an answer. And the other thing is, follow ups have this ability to be marked as resolved or unresolved, but anyone can change it.
Right.
So sometimes things that haven't been responded to will just get marked as resolved, and we never really know why. Did the person eventually figure out the answer themselves and mark it as resolved and just not post something indicating that? Or did some random person browsing for the thread mark it as resolved? Stuff like that. So, and then once it gets marked as resolved, it doesn't get called out in the post summary on the sidebar. So it gets a lot harder to notice that there's still this question there.
So, how would you suggest improving that?
That's a good question. Well, maybe limiting who can. Maybe for I guess there are really two parts to it. for the first issue where a student will post an answer to that's not really an answer, or an answer to something that someone really wanted an answer from the TAs, maybe let the original poster, instead of just posting question note, maybe they can post like question for anyone versus question for just TAs versus note or
Mm.
something like that. For marking things as resolved, yeah, maybe just only let the person who posted it or a TA mark it as resolved. I feel like
Okay.
that would be that might not be a perfect solution. I haven't really thought it through, but it would at least probably be better in a situation where any random person can just be browsing the thread and go, "Oh, I think this is resolved."
Okay, that's fair. So when you go about answering questions, you say that some of the things have been lingering for a while. How do you decide which questions to answer and which to skip? And how do you keep track of them?
Hmm. That's a great question. uh, the short answer is badly. I don't do a great job of keeping track of posts on Piazza, I think. Um, so usually, if I see a question and I feel confident in my answer, and it's something that will take me less than like 10, 15 minutes to answer, um, I'll go ahead and answer it right away,
Hmm.
regardless of how long it's been there. If it's a question that's relatively recent and it's about something that I don't know as much about, like maybe the details of the auto grader for the assignment, and I didn't work on the auto grader for that assignment, or um, just something like that. Um, or if it's something that really requires like 10 pages of explanation, um, then I'll sort of skip it and see if it's still there the next time I check Piazza, or if someone else has responded to it. Um, and then if something has been sitting around for longer than, say, 24 hours, um, I usually either I'll try to answer it even if I'm not the expert on that thing, or I'll sort of try to start poking other people to answer it. Like if it's something that's a policy question that only the instructor can answer, I'll send him a message saying, "Hey, here are these Piazza threads that haven't been replied to yet."
Okay.
So there's no real central way that we keep track of things that have been answered and things that haven't been answered, other than trying to extract that information from the Piazza interface, which sometimes works.
Okay. What are some of the most frustrating features?
Oh, definitely that mark is resolved versus mark is unresolved. um, they're frustrating things. It's a little. The search on Piazza is kind of bad. Like just search. That's a frustrating feature, but it's bad specifically because number one, I don't think it does word stemming. So if you search for like support, it doesn't bring up things that say supporting, or actually that may be a bad example because it's a substring. But if you bring up things that are just slightly misspelled, or like assigned versus assignment, or something like that, where the it's a different form of the same word, it doesn't do any handling of stuff like that, like a search engine like Google would. But also, you can't. It has these filters that are kind of useful. It has like unread, unresolved, a couple of other things, and then it has these are they called tags or folders that let you sort of look at particular subjects, but you can't combine them, or at least I've tried to sort of look at the front end JavaScript, and it doesn't seem to be possible to combine them. which is it's really annoying because you can't just say, okay, the assignment 3 is due this weekend. I'm going to look for all unanswered posts that relate to assignment 3.
Mm-hmm.
You can look for either things relating to assignment 3, or you can look for unresolved posts, and never the twain shall meet. So search is frustrating for a number of reasons. They actually have some nice search operators. You can search for things from a particular person, or from all instructors, or different things, but they bury the instructions very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call it out at all. You just either you get really lucky and you stumble across it, or someone initiates you into the secrets of Piazza search.
You may have to initiate me one day.
Huh?
I said you may have to initiate me one day because I've yet to figure out how to search for a particular student without having to type their name in.
Even if you know the various operators, you still can't combine like a folder and an unresolved filter or any of the stuff I was whining about before. So,
right,
super annoying.
So, what improvements would you suggest?
For search?
Not necessarily
let
for
us
search.
Combine things. That would be really nice. That alone would probably be, would be nice. I can't really think of anything beyond that.
Okay.
Well, combining things and then doing some kind of stemming and minor typo handling and so on.
Do you use the favorite posts feature at all?
I do. Though, usually, to be honest, I usually use it as a student. I don't find myself using it as a TA. When I'm in classes, people often, especially at the beginning of the semester, people will post really helpful stuff about like setting up your environment or debugging this issue, or they'll post something about one of the assignments that I think is going to be relevant, but I'm not there yet. So as a student, I use it a lot. As a TA, those things aren't particularly valuable to me personally because I've already been through the course. And if they're valuable to people generally, usually I pin them.
Okay.
So that'd be sort of called out for everybody.
And I know you have to go, so one last question. Does the class that you're currently TAing, does that use a single thread for project or an assignment rather than using the folder, or no?
Right now it's using the folder.
Mm-hmm.
Last term I TA'd the same class and it actually used a thread per assignment, at least in theory it used a thread per assignment. This term we started out just using folders, and then students started organizing into not one thread per assignment, but one thread per each part of the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that seems to work out pretty well. People like that. There are still some things that get posted just in the folder and not in any of those threads.
Right. Okay. Well, Angela, I don't want to hold you up any longer. Thank you so much. You've been a great help. And one day you will give me a Piazza tutorial on searching.
I should make some kind of a Piazza cheat sheet, or I don't know. Things I wish I had known about Piazza 2 years ago.
We should definitely package all that knowledge that you have about Piazza, the order grader, Morse, and various other things.
Oh dear. Moss is its own little thing. But, yeah, well, thank you. This has been fun. I always enjoy the opportunity to complain about Piazza, but no, seriously, I think it's pretty cool, actually, that you're working on that you're thinking through some of the design considerations. I'll be interested to hear what you come up with.
I'll keep you posted. I'll be sending out surveys shortly, so you'll have another chance,
Oh,
another crack
awesome.
at this. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good
Take
one.
care.